getting a Zai off lane Enchantress.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely interesting. Feels like, honestly, it feels a little similar to last time around where Liquid is trying to play kind of fast, set tempo and stuff like that. Gaming, have overwhelming team fight, ways to take tons of these fights. Let's see which one's going to thrive this time, because Liquid first 10 minutes, 12, 15 minutes of last game looked great, and then they literally got completely destroyed. And Ace, when he's playing his Doom, he does very similar to what he does on his Underlord.
Yeah,
he is not a Midas farmer. He is a Vanguard or a buyer that looks to join and evolve into all these early type of team fights. So let's see how it's going to go down. This is going to be a fun one.
No, absolutely, yeah. With the way that Ace has been playing, I think a lot of eyes are going to be on him.
Yeah.
Once again this game, and especially if you're Liquid, right? You've got to somehow find a way of making sure that Ace doesn't have these kind of back-to-back performances as he has been having recently.
They do have the Morphling, which is quite good, especially inside this lane versus him and all that. But I mean, I don't feel like I see Ace and Tofu really lose lanes too often. They are just so good at playing lanes together.
Sure. And this is a strong one, Doom Rubik?
Yep, definitely. Yep. Let's see how the pairing is going to be. So at the moment, looks like they're going to be using the IO up there to deal with the harassment that's going to coming out for the Morph. It's super beneficial with the Morph when you're down to 1 strength. I mean, look at the headdress. The regen just obviously is percentage-wise fantastic. And let's see bottom. This is a pretty cool approach that they went for. You know, they're playing versus Undying. So what a lot of teams have been doing to deal with Undying is you just pick like an Agi or a ranged int hero or something like that, so you're not getting decayed as a strength hero and it feels miserable. And I like the point that Jenkins brought up. The Enchantress versus TB matchup, early game is pretty scary. This Impetus is incredibly high damage versus the illusions, versus the hero in general too, because you're fairly squishy. And of course, you know, taking any of those illusions yourself with an enchant.
I mean, overall as well, looking at what Liquid's come into this game too with, what does this sort of say to you that they took away from game 1 and they wanted to try differently this time?
Give Nisha a hero that isn't a boring DK, right? I mean, that's probably the biggest one for me. Just he can make so much more happen as a Storm in comparison. I mean, that's probably the biggest one, at least for me. But similar type of style of just wanting to secure lanes early. But honestly, gaming, I feel like they have pretty good lanes. It's just the bottom one. I'm wondering how this is going to go. Because I think Dyrachyo, they could just die at any moment. Celery and Dyrachyo, there's just so much harassment that comes out from an Enchantress and a Bane. They're going to have to bring lots of extra regen down here to deal with the harass.
And do you sort of agree overall that there's a bit of a timer this game, that later on gaming Gladiators is going to fall into a very favorable spot? Or do you think Liquid can also scale?
I think Liquid can scale, but they're going to need a lead in order to be able to do so to get into that type of mid-game. It's not easy to get a lead either when you're playing versus these super split pushy and super easy to farm heroes like a Doom. Like, he's just going to have the net worth no matter what you do to him. So it can scale, of course, with that Morphling. With that TB matchup, you go the Aghanims and stuff like that. You turn into him. Reflection's amazing. And you're a mixed damage hero. That's the other thing that I think some people like. Ace should be fine. It's not just about being able to steal his stats and stuff like that on TB. It's also that you're, as Morphling, you're probably one of the best mixed damage carries. Because you're doing tons of magical and physical in combination versus a high armor TB.
Oh my goodness me. Nisha, yeah. It was keeping his cool there, not popping the Fairy Fire.
I mean,
my goodness. I mean, he's done the maths. He knows that one of these hits each time won't be enough to kill him.
He's going to have to go back, though. He's doing very well in these first few waves. You see his last hits are doing better, but Quinn able to now push him away back to the base. That's a big deal.
Yeah, this is going to give easily enough time for Quinn to catch up on the next wave or so.
Constantly having to keep top. I think Tofu, if he makes a mistake, he should die up here. Bottom, I keep having to keep eyes down here because just Dyrachyo is getting just constantly spammed out from both Insania and Zai. He's still farming.
I was going to say, kind of like last game. Yeah. Even in the lane when he died and such, he was still getting the CS. And yeah, same to be said here. Tanking a lot of damage from Zai that's been thrown his way with the impetuses. But yeah, 13 and 6 on the CS. He's doing fine.
The CS are there, but you have to always remember too, he's having to spend extra on regen. So he actually has to bring a salve. So that's his second salve that Dyrachyo's had to buy for himself as a Terror Blade. So yeah, okay. 13 last hits, but if you look at his actual net worth, it's, 1,300, while Zai's is 1,600 and the Morph 1,800. So do have to always factor in the fact that they have to buy extra regen in some of these lanes. And yeah, Quinn reestablishing that mid, that dominance, 12 and 10 now on him.
Yeah, what do you think they sort of liked about the OD this game to get it for Quinn?
It's always been kind of in a way a traditional morph counter. because this hero's sitting low, you get on top of him, you just pop the ulti, you can actually just burst immediately. And it's just a strong lane. So I think Quinn wanted to double these benefits. And with the build that you're able to get now, I mean, I say now, it's been for a long time, but if you want to go down the route of this Meteor Hammer, you can actually apply a lot of pressure on these towers early, where your TB doesn't really want to show up too soon. So it's going to be a cool one. I want to see what skill build Quinn does. I've seen a lot of people just doing, you keep the Astral at 2 points, and you max your other abilities, and you just play around 2 points Astral into Meteor Hammer. See if he does do that one. I think Thompson was one that was doing it a lot, even going stats and foregoing maxing Astral.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you've just got enough time to set up for the Meteor, that's all you need.
Yeah. Just the harassment, right? You see Duracho, he's got boots running back and forth, trying not to take so much damage. Can they turn it onto Zai? One more hit.
He's got him.
They got him.
I mean, honestly, Duracho, he's playing this lane really, really nicely. You know, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we've seen Terrorblades kind of laning up against something like an Enchantress, just completely losing the lane. But Duracho getting a kill, getting his first blood, and also getting the CS perfectly fine. He's playing really, really nicely against this from Zai.
Today's his day for sure. He was bullied quite consistently in the last game and still had an amazing time.
That's the thing. Both times tough lanes, but he's keeping it together nicely.
He might find Insania too. One more hit. He's got him.
All right. I mean, yeah.
There we go.
He's on something today, Duracho.
Hell yeah.
Solid start here.
I mean, the fact that he even did the little things of like bringing his own regen, bringing 2 salves to the lane so he can keep himself there, foregoing like, I mean, yeah, Wraithband is kind of not really necessary so many times on the Terrorblade when he's playing versus a double pure damage lane. Doesn't need armor. He needs boots. He needs gloves of haste. Gives him attack speed, move speed to hit this Ench. That's a dream start here for him.
Oh, really nice.
Still seeing Mickey, of course, free farm in the top lane. But definitely some good stuff. Bounty blocks Boxy. They're on Ace. Ace
see if they can run him down. It's going to take him a bit of time.
Sure will.
Scorched Earth's back up.
Another waveform in 4 seconds. He should die, but in the meanwhile, I mean, Nisha gets punished mid. And how many CS did they miss for this kill, right? I think Mickey misses almost an entire wave, plus a catapult. So honestly, you get 215 gold, but missing 4 or 5 last hits, plus I mean, it's almost the same thing if he just sat in the lane and farmed the creeps.
What are the levels looking like mid? Well, Quinn is 6.5, Nisha 5.5, so a full level difference now between the mids. Quinn, I mean, you see the amount of denies he's racking up as well now. He's really leading the charger in this matchup.
He pretty much has Meteor Hammer done.
Yeah.
And yeah, 2 points in his Arcane Orb. I think he is going to do that Astral thing that I was mentioning. And yeah, he's going to be able to push Nisha out of lane almost by himself when he does have that. And Nisha might just have to jungle to finish off that 6 soon.
Ooh.
Oh,
like
just
the
kidding.
Snipe there, though. Boxy.
Okay.
Able to catch the courier of Quinn, so that completing Meteor Hammer is going to be put on the sidelines a little longer than Quinn would have liked.
The rest, he didn't buy the Void Stone at the least, but yeah, it means the rest would be so.
He would have had it, right? So
yep.
Postponed by an extra minute there, thanks to that snipe from Boxy.
That's a huge deal, because he would have it, and he has
would
catapult.
have it at crazy time.
Like, he would have it on the catapult wave, so he'd actually be able to force rotations and stuff like that. That is incredible there. Little courier snipes. Celery! He lives, Duracho, he's turning.
I mean, look at this damage here in Insania. It doesn't stand a chance.
Oh my god, Duracho.
He's just getting, killing spree at 7 minutes in. Well, this is a very happy Terrorblade.
And like the panel was saying, this is a matchup. You know, I still favor Morphling in a vacuum, of course. You know, you have to, of course, favor it factor in a million different other things. But if a TB does get an advantage versus a Morphling, that's where he also kind of counters him in a way, right? Because you get that early Scotty timing and stuff like that. So Duracho having an incredible start. And this is the lane that Liquid, I think, really wanted to try to dominate with the way that they set things up. So very impressive.
I mean, for sure, that's one of the reasons why you put Zai on this off-lane Enchantress, right? I mean, you know, for sure, Zai, he's still getting a lot of farm out of the lane. He's getting just as much as Duracho, but absolutely. Maybe not slowing down this Terrorblade as much as they would have hoped to.
I mean, they're also just really slowing down Nisha. Nisha's actually at the, I mean, he went for Arcane Boots. It makes a lot of sense when you're playing with the IO, the double pump up, but having Arcane Boots is going to quite reduce your physical damage output that comes out from the Storm, not having those treads early.
No, it's going to be nice for sort of like the flash farming, the jungling section of the game. But as we saw last time round, when gaming Gladiators as a team were able to hit timing that Liquid weren't quite prepared for themselves. You know, Liquid was sort of focused on trying to get their next items out in the cores. That's when Liquid started to crumble big time.
Zai, he's going. I mean, this is an interesting itemization too. It looks like he's going to be going for an Orchid early on.
Oh.
Nice play, Dyrachyo. Body blocks the camp with his illusion. Make sure that the Ench can't get a creep and start pushing tower. He's doing all the little things right on Dyrachyo. Now Quinn, Meteor Hammer, it's coming out. He also finds the blessed item. The Fairy's Trinket is up on Quinn too, so Meteor Hammer is going to be able to go on the tower. But he may have been able to like take this tower if that snipe didn't happen. So a big deal, as you see. 1 minute 54 slower than average because of the snipe. Ace. Too tanky now to be brought down. Yeah, Vanguard's finished.
These two can't take him out unless Ace makes some massive overextension.
Mid Nisha. I mean, he'll turn up to try to get some defense, but Quinn is getting unbelievable damage. He's almost going to finish off the tower. Rotation's coming. Insania trying to prevent it. But it's spotted instantly from the ward.
And Quinn is going to go for the setup.
They got him.
They've got him. They've more than got him there. Very, very dead Nisha. And the tower, they'll have a fortification, but it's going to be going down.
Oh, that efficiency at its finest. The Meteor Hammer hits the tower and the Storm. Chef's kiss. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, I mean, what an early game.
Yeah, Gaming Gladiators just playing a little too good today. I mean, last game turning things around after a bit of a slower start in the lanes. This game too, straight off the bat here. 10 minutes in, 5-1, and looking to take the lead quite early.
Honestly, all three lanes look incredible. Ace, yeah, sure, he's going to struggle because especially Tofu's moving a lot, but he's still farming very well as this Doom. So, I mean, everything is going in their favor right now, and they have, as we said, this very strong scaling draft if they're able to get this type of start here.
I mean, well, when you look at Liquid's cores as well, you know, which one of these cores is going to kind of get that item that allows them to start, you know, doing the moves that Gaming Gladiators are making? Like, what's going to be your soonest, strongest point of Liquid's draft?
Honestly, I think it's just going to be, they're just going to have to join up with like the IO and the Storm and just look to make moves even just
without items. Yeah.
Just to try to slow down this pressure that's been coming out of the free farm that Dyrachyo's getting in a lane that I think they expected to be able to do much better in. Like Dyrachyo, sure, he's not the same net worth as like the Morphling, 900 behind or so, but they literally set this lane up to stop him and he's doing great.
Sure. And you think this is a difficult game for Mickey to sort of just try and ignore everything, hit creeps, and carry as a Morph late on? Like, can Mickey get away with that this game?
The issue is he's just like, you know, there's a Doom, right? So, and there's a Doom, and then there's the OD pick, which can counter in a way, too. We're going to see him get a pretty early Linken's, very likely to deal with the Doom, so maybe that'll be enough, but this is definitely some concerns for Liquid, because Nisha is just, I look at his net worth, and they're just preying on him. So it's going to mostly have to come from Mickey and Zai just doing that heavy lifting in the early mid-game. And overall for team fights, I'd say Liquid, they're more around playing for pickoffs with the IO relocate, Fiend's Grip, stuff like that, rather than taking a head-on fight into Tombstone and a heavy farm Doom who's going to have the auras again.
Yeah, they don't have any team fight, really.
No.
Liquid.
Zai, again, they're setting up for him. Quinn's here. He's going down.
Dominating now, Dyrachyo. And it's going to be interesting to see, I mean, how much do you think Gaming Gladiators is going to care when this Orchid's done on Zai? Like, do you see it doing a lot for him, this game? Or do you think it's going to feel a little underwhelming?
I think it might feel a little underwhelming.
I mean, because there's got to be a reason why we don't see any other offlane heroes right now. Nobody's picking an offlane hero and rushing Orchid. Right?
No.
That is a very kind of niche sort of build. Zai obviously doing it on the Enchantress. Makes sense. It's an int hero. And Silence, of course, you know, against like the OD, it's going to be annoying.
Sure, but they can just itemize with BKBs and stuff like that. So Zai, he shows up bottom. They're committing for the tower here, Gaming. Tombstone will get denied.
And they're bringing more backup in there, Liquid.
The re-relocate. It brings Nisha back to the jungle as he's TPing. Whoops. But either way, they're going to get the defense.
The push was stopped. So.
It actually ends up being probably better that the relocate took
I was going to say, otherwise they would have sort of had 4 heroes down there doing nothing. So
yeah,
not the end of the world there.
So, I mean, let's see what Mickey is going to be able to do. Okay, well, Linken's, I mean, he can actually perhaps get involved early as this morph just with that. Quinn?
Oh, nice moves here from Nisha. Making it very hard for Quinn to get the Astral. He has to sort of settle with Astraling himself there.
He's got buddies.
He has got backup. So they'll be able to walk away. Nisha trying his best. He got pretty close to getting him. Quick with the Bull Lightnings, making sure that Quinn could never quite Astral in time.
But, I mean, that's a whole mana pool committed.
That's true.
To not get a kill.
And that's why he got the mana boots.
Yep. He's going to be able to pump himself back up. But, I mean, Quinn is regenning very quickly back up, and he's ready to fight. maybe expecting this Storm isn't going to be ready for this next move.
I think that's exactly it.
The Lincolns! He got the snipe!
Oh, that's a big one.
Mickey.
I mean, see if Mickey can get out of this. Ace and Quinn are looking for him.
Quinn is waiting for the waveform. But Mickey, he's careful. Oh. Does hit the tower.
Yeah, they'll go for the tower. But indeed, as you say, well, how long is that the Lincoln's on the side for? That's going to be, what, a minute and a half?
Yeah.
Where Mickey's going to have to wait for that recipe to get to him.
Can you imagine if Ace is also able to get the Doom right afterwards, after killing? Like, that would have just been an insane snowball effect. They already are starting to get this insane type of snowball with the way that they played these lanes. 7-1.
Yeah, they're looking scary today.
They sure are. This time Ace is going to have to take a little bit of the back foot, it seems like, because they set him up. They moved a lot, right? Like, Tofu was playing around Quinn a little bit more this time around, so Ace, he's just going to be more of that aura buyer, while his OD and his TB just start doing tons of work with the supports. Zai has Orchid. Let's see what he can get with it.
Okay. I mean, now he's got it. Is he going to sort of stay sat down here, or are they going to try and make some sort of smoke move with Zai?
I think they can look to start fighting a bit here, just because they have this IO with the mech as well, too, pretty early. You have to make the Orchid pay off before the BKBs, before the Manta and stuff, so I'd like to see them try to get something. Not the easiest, though. I believe Quinn now, he has a Blink Dagger, so he's going to have a way to protect himself constantly. Maybe with the Blink, he is going to put more points in that Astral to just go for the Blink aways and stuff, but ideally, for the moment, still wants to just hang on to 2 points to set up Meteor. Mickey cannot, yeah, he has to be very careful. 15 seconds, it'll come back, so.
Stupendous!
Radiant are scanning.
Let's see where they want to sort of head. I mean, Dyrachyo, of course, his opening basic items done. The Yasha and the Dragon Lance, he's going to want to sort of stick out the action so he can get the Skadi complete.
He is, I mean, this is the build we saw Tomato do there. The only thing he has to be a little careful of is that Orchid. If he is going to skip out on the Manta, go straight for the Skadi, yes, it's the counter to the Morph, but
sure,
could end up maybe biting him back.
I mean, they've got saves, right?
Yeah.
There's the Greaves on Ace.
They're rushing.
The Astral as well. I mean, yeah, with the OD, they can do this pretty easily.
Sure can. OD plus Undying, easy rush. And they look good. No way that they can contest. Dyrachyo shows himself up top, continue to apply pressure, so he's like bluffing a little bit. He's like, yeah, I got backup on my team, but they're actually just rushing. This is clever stuff. Immediately with the chat wheel.
And straight away with the smoke. Gaming Gladiators.
They're feeling confident. They're looking good, too. Looking unbelievably good. Liquid at the moment just playing that farm game, not actually looking to make a move just yet. Also, now it's way more difficult versus this Aegis that's going to be on Quinn, that he's going to be the one initiating. He's just going to be blinking in and starting fights. Nisha?
Well, there's the setup. They've got the Astral. They've got the Astral.
They want Boxy.
But he's out. He's out to the side. They won't be able to find him straight away. Quinn's trying to close the gap. But, no further catch. Nisha's away.
I think they know that this was happening, though, from the IO.
Oh, Dyrachyo. I mean, can these two do it? They've got the Fiend's Grip. With the damage from Zai.
They should get him.
Very nice move from Liquid. They know that Gaming Gladiator's all down bottom, and then Dyrachyo, he's got no one to back him up.
He was bluffing for quite some time up there, right? They were rushing, and he just showed his face a few times, so we'll get punished. A pretty big kill there for Liquid. They will lose their IO on the bottom side, though. Boxy was spotted when he was reloading. 8-2. Only a 3K lead, though. That's Liquid is being very efficient with the way they farm around, of course, with the Arcane Boot Storm and with that IO. Ace now will have Blink. See if he swaps the creep up. That's the one thing I'm worrying, Biz. Watch here, Nisha.
They get the setup. He's gone.
Yeah.
Quinn just slams him down with a hammer. Let's see if they can push for more around this area. Ace ready to join.
I really like the build that Quinn's going for this game. Just, I mean, there's Blink Meteor Hammer, pretty standard, but then going for a Force Staff next, that's going to give them an extra element to cancel Lincolns and stuff like that on Mickey. So they're going to have a lot of different ways to be able to deal with this morph. Can they get the snag? Lincoln's break.
TP's coming in there. They don't want to try and mess around with Mickey anymore here.
I think
bit too difficult.
I think the Courier was just delivering the Blink Dagger for Ace. If he had it 2 seconds earlier, they probably do get that kill. Mika will live to see another day. Very quick items on these supports. I mean, all their rotations have hit. So Tofu, as we see, with the early Glimmer Cape. I think Celery might buy drums every single game. It's just his favorite item. And on Undying, the Holy Locket, super valuable also. Yeah, very farm supports, great core timings too. And they can constantly threaten kills all over the place. I was gonna say, I wonder if Ace does look to switch up the creep perhaps at some moment. I know the stun creep with Blink is amazing, but maybe wants a Linken's Breaker of his own. We'll see. Ace, he's spotted by the ward here. Insania is in position. But gaming is all rotating over.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if Liquid want to take this fight.
He just dooms him.
I mean, it's going to be in Liquid's best interest if they just bail out of there.
What?
Nice jukes, though.
Is he,
honestly, he might live.
Is he actually?
He's going to be able to tether over to Nisha soon. Insania's actually able to pop the Nightmare onto the 8 and TP out.
Okay.
So, all right, Liquid, they don't lose anyone. Everybody gets away.
All right, can they punish this? Can they punish the fact that Doom's down now?
It's still kind of difficult to do so. I mean, Nisha and Boxy are hanging around top. And Nisha's ready to... They're considering going in on this.
If they see them split up too much, I mean, they might jump Ace here.
I think they could.
They don't know where his backup is. They're going to wait until they see something else. Zai, Insania, they're looking for the setup mid, but Quinn is already here. Immediately with the Astral.
Yeah, that's going to shut down Insania.
Good read.
And was also made at a time where they no longer had that sort of opportunity to go on Ace top.
Yep.
Ace was able to sort of lead that top lane. And, you know, in a situation where maybe if he hung around for another wave, Boxy and Nisha would have been able to make the jump on him.
It's really heads-up stuff. Like Quinn, he read the map perfectly, and he hit himself in the tree line. So it's like he doesn't show himself. They don't know where he is, and then boom, they strike immediately.
Or Quinn.
He's looking for more.
Mickey is going to be able to push him back. Quinn not having enough on his own to set up with that Linken Sphere in play on Mickey.
Hey, but he can though, right? With the Force Staff.
Oh, you're right, actually, yeah.
He can blink Force, Astral, Meteor Hammer if he gets the ideal setup.
I guess it was just Tofu by his side. In fact, Tofu. Getting gone on by this relocate move here from Boxy and Nisha. And they're going to try and turn towards Boxy, see if they can burst through him before he's on his way back out. The Sanities is there. Boxy heals up, but he'll get taken out by Quinn. They'll look to Nisha. Nisha up to the high ground. They'll turn their attention over to Mickey instead. He's got the waveform. He'll turn into the OD as well. Linken's will be popped. Nisha still trying to fight, and he gets the grab onto Duracha. Duracha getting low, but the Soul Ribs there. Get caught by the Nightmare, but the Nightmare comes to an end, and now Gaming Gladiators, they're ready to just charge straight into the high ground, up to the triangle of Liquid. They take out another. Nisha and Boxy have to be careful. As Zai and Insania, they're out of the fight.
They're just playing so well off each other. Duracho gets low for a quick second, some Soul Rips to heal him up, Glimmers, saves. Okay.
It's just Quinn and Tofu here.
But Quinn does an unbelievable amount of damage to him.
Mickey's got to bail out. He's completely on his own right now.
They've got the long-range sleep, but don't want to dive under the tower.
Oh, we'll see this fight again. I mean, Liquid, that very much felt like they really wanted to go for this. They felt that they had a chance, but of course, losing Boxy at the start left for a very rough situation. Back in action.
Doom.
It's going to get dropped down on Nisha. They'll be able to push Boxy away from Nisha, take out the IO. The question is if Gaming Gladiators are going to be able to dive beyond the tier 2. They're certainly trying for this. The Doom is about to come to an end, though. Nisha is going to have enough mana to get away.
Zai's coming in now, too.
They're thinking of turning it, Liquid. Nisha, he zips in. Get the Vortex onto Duracho. Grip follow-up as well. Anybody cancel the grip. Ace, he's trying to step in, and with the Who Stomp, he'll be able to put the grip to an end. Doesn't matter, though. The damage has been done. The impetus is there from Zai. Take out Duracho.
And they get the sleep. Celery also going to get brought down. Zai doing pretty absurd damage in that fight. Orchid paying off. And we did, of course, see Duracho go back for the Manta. I figured that he would when he's playing versus this Orchid Enchantress. And he's still going to look to have pretty damn good timing as well on the Scotty afterwards. Liquid striking back slightly here.
Quinn, he's got the basic items done. He's going to be looking for the big one next. Slow build up now for the Hex.
Zai is, honestly, he is scaling pretty hard.
He could silently become the carry here for Liquid. I mean, that's what's going to potentially happen, right, when you're playing this offlane edge. You get the Orchid, Hurricane Pike. He's taking the Brigands for himself there.
Sure.
And we'll be building up the BKB next. So absolutely, you've got to keep an eye on Zai. Could start, not that he hasn't already, really, doing serious damage in the team fights.
Yeah, not only just him, not only his hero himself is, oh, wait, make it. Should be fine.
Well, Duracho pops the meta for this. But Liquid, they'll be able to keep that distance.
Yeah, the other thing about the Enches, too, is always going to be able to take one of the illusions from the TB, too. So it's going to work a little bit against him at the same time constantly. 6K lead. Mickey starting to feel a bit better to be able to fight. He found, in my opinion, one of the best Agi items. You know, the Pupil's Gift is so good. We'll get on these Agi heroes. Nisha has BKB now.
I mean, yeah, he's got eyes on them as well. Quinn charging in there, looking for a chance to fight with his DD. But Nisha knows what's up. Duracho, he's actually the one sort of leading the way. Gets into the triangle.
He has to be just a little cautious of how he uses his Manta in these next few situations.
Yeah, I think they're just really trying to force a little bit of action there during the end of the metamorphosis, but it is about to come to an end. So they'll probably want to back off, at least Duracho will.
Zai, he wants to fight. Quick glimmer.
Yeah, they'll bail out of it. I mean, Duracho, about 1,500 gold, and he'll have the Skadi done, so his best interest to sit back and get that done. Quinn, he's in. He's going to jump forward. We'll see Mickey going aggressive with the waveform over towards Celery and Quinn. They'll turn for the quick kill onto Insania.
Oh, that's a godly steal for Tofu. This is actually probably one of the better... It's not an ultimate, it's not a Fiend Script, but this is insane versus Morphling. Not only just the actual spell, but to break the Lincolns. It's got pretty cool cast range. Oh, this could be huge. Not even just versus Morph, right? Versus Io, versus Enchantress. This is an unbelievable steal that Tofu can get this game. And Ace, even though, as we said, he was sacked a little bit, look at his items. He's got the same as the Underlord, and he's top net worth.
Yeah, I mean, he's still doing great. Granted, he's obviously on a Doom this game, but yeah, absolutely having the build-up to have a very solid impact as he did in Game 1.
And he goes for the early Shard as well, too. I really like this Shard when you're playing versus super tanky heroes, which Morphling can become in a lot of these fights. And Roche, it's back on the menu.
They're going to go straight into the pit.
And Liquid, it's difficult for them to take head-on 5v5s in this type of area where you're able to set up Tombstone and everything and pick and choose your targets as gaming. So probably just have to give this one up, even if they're aware of it. Will Nisha attempt for a steal?
It doesn't look like it.
Don't think so.
They don't really have any sort of vision or setup. In fact, Quinn, he's heading straight over it to see if he can find either Nisha or Boxy.
Blink up in 3. Sees Boxy.
Oh, he's so close. He's going to be able to find him.
He's got him. Monster kill for Quinn. 8-0 and 4. 12 of the 16 kills.
They're doing fantastic this game, and he's going to be well on the way to start picking up the bits of that Hex.
I mean, I really like the way that he's itemized. Mostly standard kind of stuff, but this is going to be incredible versus the Morph versus everything he's up against is Liquid. Trying to get something going for themselves down bottom. But they're just heavily on the back foot. It's 16-4. They can't find any type of fight, or they can't even find pickoffs around the map either.
It's just that gaming Gladiators, they're all hard to kill.
Yeah.
These are all tough heroes to go on.
They're going high ground.
I mean, why not? They want to try and force Mickey to have to back up and fight with the team.
Nisha, he'll be able to clearing out the wave, so they can't actually go for high ground.
In fact, they're going to back off to react to the push that Mickey and Zai were getting going back down bottom. Tofu and Quinn, they'll head back to deal with this.
And they smoke. So still looking to play aggressive. They're going to sweep across the map and probably try to find this Morphling here. See if Mickey is careful. If they get a Mickey is everything right now. If he dies, this game is quickly going to be even more unwinnable.
And they're going to see him in the river.
Oh, what? Mickey.
They get the opening.
Wait, what?
There's the Doom.
And a TD. Oh, a blessing.
I mean, very, very well done there. Popping through the Lincolns, having the ult ready to slam down on the Morphling. They'll catch Boxy as well. Boxy, of course, trying to get in the area of the Morph to see if they could bail him out, but wasn't going to be the case. It's 2 dead on Liquid.
Now they go
Gladiators, they can go for another tier 2 and potentially more. DD.
I mean, the Morph
Metamorphosis. Here we go. Here's the push.
The Morph is literally everything for Liquid, and now he dies with having this big influx of gold. This tower, this Rax might be difficult for them to defend. Gaming Gladiators. They always seem to have Liquid's number, and today seems the same.
Honestly, today even more so.
Yeah.
These two games, I mean, Gaming Gladiators, they've kind of looked on another level.
Honestly, it's like Nisha. Just a jump to try to clear. It's not even just, it's everybody, right? It's the cores, it's the supports. They're doing just so much work. All playing off each other perfectly. Rax is down.
I mean, Insania tries to set someone up here with an ult, but he just ends up dying. Nisha is going to commit it with the BKB. They're going to go for Tofu.
He's still
grabbing
tanky.
it, but the Glimmer's there. Tofu's still full HP. They turn, they drop the Sanity's Eclipse. That's going to be Mickey dead.
It's over.
He hasn't got a buyback. And they might even be able to get Zai. Yeah, Ace, he's diving in beyond the tier 4s. They want to go for more Gaming Gladiators. They take down Zai. 29 minutes, 21-4, 18k lead. They're going to look for a second set of racks.
Oh, this is over.
It really feels like it may be.
That's just, the Morph just dies in a heartbeat. Look at that. Dies in one stun. That gets lifted at the end there, but the burst damage, yeah, they call it.
They called it.
It's done.
I mean, wow.